I love cats.
You hate horses.
No, I don't hate
You
horses.
hate goats.
I don't hate
You
goats.
hate roosters.
I don't hate
You
roosters.
hate cocks.
I love...
Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have something I was not expecting to pick up. My Walmarts don't typically carry Ultimate Editions, and I'm pretty sure this one shows up in Walmart usually, right? Did this one show up in Target? I don't know. I found the Bret Hart in Target, so I guess technically he would be in Target, but I found this one in Walmart, and that's not usually where I find Ultimates. They don't typically sell them there. So I saw him and I was like, oh, do I want him? I don't like this sculpt. I don't like this style of Ultimate, the classic build of Ultimate. I wasn't a fan of them. I didn't get too many of them. The ones I did get, I wasn't happy with. I didn't like them. So I looked at him and I was like, 32 bucks for a figure that I don't really want that much. But he does come with a lot of stuff I really wanted. I wanted this chainmail shirt, this hat. These head sculpts are amazing. And then, of course, everything else he comes with. And I was like, do I really want to get him? And then I thought, well, I guess it's content for the channel, right? That's one reason to go for it. So I was like, let's do it. I had the money at the time. Let's go ahead and get him. This is one of the weirder Ultimates. This isn't something I would typically seek out. I also saw, so when I got my Bret Hart, which that video should be up soon, hopefully by the time I'm making this, I got him. There's two different Bret Harts right now. There's the classic version, the version I was worried about, that's a re-release, and then they released a new updated version with the butterfly joints, and that's the one I found. I didn't know that. I thought they updated the re-release to have the butterfly joints and the pinless arms. No, they just re-released the old version and released a new version. But I was able to find that other version of Bret Hart. I guess the difference is the jacket. I don't remember which color the one I got was, but I think the other one is like, I think it's the black jacket. That's the version that's the classic look, I think. I might have them mixed up. So I found him and I was like, well, maybe he's updated. He's not, obviously, but you know, he still looks like a great figure. So I was happy. I was content, let's put it that way, with getting this figure. I don't know if I'd say I was happy paying that much, but you know, I'm glad to have more figures in the collection, and I'm glad to have more content for you guys to watch. So I guess let's hop right into it, starting with the front of the box. You have this nice window here. It's a big, tall box, so it doesn't quite fit in the frame. Otherwise, you'd see Triple H at the top right there, in case you weren't sure who you were picking up. He is, in fact, Triple H. It says Ultimate Edition right here in that nice silver, shiny silveriness. Looks pretty good. Everything in the box you can see right here, it's pretty nice. On the side, you have a nice picture of Triple H from that era. Looks decent, looks pretty good. Happy to have him. Again, it says Triple H in case you were just so confused who this guy was. It's all over the box. This is the look he had when he wore this attire with the chainmail. It looks beautiful here. It looks decent in the packaging, but here it looks amazing. I think you can make it look a little bit better with like some silver spray paint or whatever, just to like really make it shine. But you know, that's if you really want to. I don't think it's super necessary. Some bio for Triple H if you want to read that. It's down there too. I'll go ahead and keep my hands out of the way so you can pause and read if you want. Of course, Triple H as the figure up here in some form of a ring. I don't know what ring that is. It doesn't look like a Ultimate ring, but you know, it's something. It looks cool. On the back you have Triple H again, just in case. And now we're back to the front, so let's go ahead and transition to the figure itself. And this is pretty much all you get with the figure. Oh, before I go on too much further, I do want to acknowledge I am a little bit under the weather. My nose is a little bit more stuffy than usual. I just came back from a trip, so I got the regular trip flu, I guess, the vacation flu. So if I sound nasally, that's why. Hopefully it's not too super annoying, but that is why I sound the way I sound. But anyways, back to the figure. This is pretty much all you get. You do get quite a bit, I'd say, with this figure. So you get the title right here, the nice, beautiful circular title that they had back in the late 90s, right before they transitioned to the more modern type of championship, I guess, or I guess right before the Undisputed, and then the Undisputed became the WWE Championship, if I got my timeline correct. So this is what it looked like towards the end of the Winged Eagle career. Obviously, it doesn't quite look like the Winged Eagle, but you can see the wings are in there, so they were there for a little bit before they were retired. But it is a beautiful championship. You have the sledgehammer and the water bottle. Of course, I have them in Triple H's hands. The nice chainmail shirt. Let's look at the hands right here real quick. You have two fist hands, one taped up and one not. They look fairly decent. They look okay, I think. Nothing too majorly wrong with those ones. And then you have two crotch chop hands, because Triple H always needs to crotch chop, you know what I'm saying? Wha-bam. So you have two of those, and then I guess they could also be just regular chopping hands. Wha-bam. Or, handshake. Let's make a deal, right? So you have two of those, and then three head sculpts. One, just kind of regular stoic Triple H. The one I have on there is the more yelling one. This is kind of like his entrance I'm replicating here. And then you have this one that's kind of meant for the hat. But you don't have to have the hat on there. It looks fine without the hat. He did have his hair combed back like that quite a bit, so it does look fairly decent on there. Looks good. These head sculpts are pretty amazing. This is like the main reason I wanted to buy this figure, was for these head sculpts, because they look so good. And then of course the chainmail, and I guess the figure itself. This one doesn't seem as bad as like the Shinsuke Nakamura and the Edge that I had, and I think his size really helps with that. His muscles and everything like that really help make him a little bit more of a better figure, I guess. So, and then of course you have the water bottle, which I have already. Every Triple H pretty much comes with a water bottle, so I have one in the background for the set design. And then the sledgehammer, same situation. I have one over there. Because, Triple H has come with sledgehammers, and they always look fairly decent, fairly cool. I do like having them. I just have a lot, so I figured why not add them to the set. And then, of course, the chainmail, short in the back. That's how you know it goes on. If you did it the other way, let's pull this head off real quick. If you did it this way, it kind of looks a little wonky. It doesn't quite sit quite as good. So, you have it on backwards. You can just flip it around and bam. And then it's black underneath, but it does look pretty good. So let's go ahead and put on, this is the yelling head sculpt. It's like when he, right after he spits out the water, he's doing his little growl thing right before he spits one more time. That's that. Let's go ahead and put on the more stoic head sculpt, just so it kind of fits his character. He wouldn't constantly be going while just standing there. So this is the figure itself. Of course, we've talked about the head sculpt. The body, I'd say this is a fairly decent sculpt for Triple H. It's not too buff, it's not too small. The back looks especially like Triple H. It might be a little bit skinny right here, I think. I don't know. Triple H is ripped, but he's ripped in a certain way. I'm trying to think who this would work better for back in that day, but I think this piece works great for him. It's this piece that's a little bit different for Triple H, but they reuse sculpts, so they can't have it perfect for every wrestler. So I don't know why I'm even bringing it up, to be perfectly honest. You have the classic Triple H logo down there at the bottom. Same thing on the back. It's a nice shiny silver, looks great. I did say this is just a re-release and they didn't really update anything. That is incorrect. They did update the figure. They didn't give it butterfly joints. Unfortunately, that really would have set this figure miles above the rest. But what they did do, I can't get it down, is they gave him pinless elbows, which is nice to have. Not a need to have, but it is nice to have. So now I can't get it to go back up. But like I said, it is a upgrade. Oh my god, please just work with me. It's not just a re-release, so I was incorrect in saying that. But it still is the overall general look of the original figure if you missed out on that when these came out. I believe this is what, series 1 or 2 or 3? Right around that. This was one of the very, very first figures. I think Sean might have been the first one, and then I don't know. They released in waves of 2, so I don't know who Sean came with, but yeah, it's right around that era. And then, of course, Sean got re-released too. But like I said, I'm not seeking these specific ones out. If they re-released them and updated them with the butterfly joints, then I'd be more willing to go after them. Oh, Brock Lesnar, that's who Sean came with. I don't know if he was number 1. That's another one. It's like, I don't need that version without the butterfly joints. If you release that version with it, I'll go for it. I did kind of want that Sean for the head sculpts and the attire, but like I said, I just, $30 for articulation that I think is kind of inferior to what you would get with an Elite. Obviously, it has the double jointed arms, but now standard Elites have double jointed arms. So it's kind of like, well, you're getting worse ab crunch. You can go side to side, but going forward and back, it's not as good. I guess since we're already on the topic, let's talk about articulation. Going back, the hair can go about that far, of course. The hair gets in the way. The head can go back that far. The hair gets in the way. Going forward, it's about that far. Yeah, right there. Swivel side to side. He's like got some sass. Like, you don't talk to me that way. You know what I mean. Arms can come up about that high. That's fairly decent, I'd say. Rotates all the way around like so. Double jointed arms, like I mentioned. I'm not going to roll that down again, but you know, it can go up to about that far. Make a phone call or, I don't know, do something else. Wrist can go in, and it can go out, and it can go all the way around. Ab crunch looks like going backwards. That's fine. That's actually pretty good, I'd say. Going forwards, it's okay. It's not the worst. I think, like I mentioned earlier, I think this style of articulation kind of bummed me out with the Edge and the Shinsuke Nakamura mostly, so I was kind of like fearful of these figures, this Triple H and the Shawn and the Brock Lesnar. Even though I've heard those figures are amazing, seeing this articulation based on what I've already had, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't like them, I don't like the way they feel, and I don't like the way they look. But now that I have this Triple H, maybe those were just the bad ones and these were fine, you know? I think maybe just it didn't work for the skinnier superstars, and since these are a little bit more bulky, it kind of works. So I think that's kind of where I'm at on them. So of course, the Shawn Michaels and Brock Lesnar are back to being overpriced, so I'm not going to be getting those. But I might try and find that Bret Hart, the other version of Bret Hart that I need. Maybe. We'll see. I don't, no promises on that one. But yeah, after having him for a little bit, maybe it was just those guys who kind of stunk up the joint and kind of ruined it for everyone else. He can swivel side to side, of course. I didn't mention that. So you go like that, add the legs into it. That is fine. That's fairly standard. Is it ultimate? Yeah, sure, it's fine. I'm just trying to justify $32 for this type of articulation. Obviously, with the newer body molds and body sculpts, it's a better argument for that price tag, but for these older ones, it's hard to like critique because they've moved past it. But now that I have it in my hands currently, I'm just trying to judge it with fresh eyes, I guess is what I'm doing. But that does mean the legs can come up to about right there, which is fairly decent. He can do the splits pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. Decent enough to do a super kick or a high kick or whatever you might need him to do. Swivel here at the thigh can go all the way around like so. Double jointed knees, not pinless, but they are double jointed, can come up to about right there. The knee pad kind of gets in the way, but you know, I'm not going to move it. Swivel at the boot can go all the way around like so. Ankle can go down like so and up like so. That is pretty decent. And then toe hinge right there. And that is pretty much it for the articulation. I gotta be honest, I like this figure quite a bit. I was worried because, like I mentioned, that Shinsuke and Edge, with this style of articulation, I was worried I wouldn't like him, but I gotta be honest, this is significantly better than any Triple H Elites I've had. I also have the Ultimate Edition Fan Takeover DX Triple H. That one does have the butterfly joints, but it's the earlier version of the butterfly joints, which were a little bit loose, and that's my issue with that figure. So compared to him, which one do I like more? This one has aspects I do really enjoy. The legs move a lot better. I wish they were that drop down leg that really let you get up there. They get up there fine without them. Of course, that other Ultimate Edition Triple H doesn't have them, but it does move a little bit better than those legs on the Ultimate Edition DX Triple H. I think I might like this one just a hair more, which is surprising, because those butterfly joints really make the figure for me. Everything else I'm fine with. Everything else I can pretty much find on an Elite nowadays. Now with the new articulation, new arms and whatnot, ab crunch is better on Elites than they are on these. I think, of course, you can go side to side. That's not a big deal for me. The bigger deal are the arms and, of course, the newer Elites with the legs. So lacking those, I'm surprised I like it this much. I'm surprised I like it more than the other version of the Ultimate Triple H with the things I like. So that puts into question whether or not I would like that Brock Lesnar and I would like that Shawn Michaels and that Bret Hart that re-released. So now I'm kind of conflicted. What do I think about those figures? I don't know. I do like this one quite a bit. So I guess I'll have to try and track them down, see if I can find them, and review them on the channel. See if I like them. This has been a bit of a rambling episode. I don't know why. I'm sick. I'm tired. I apologize for this weird video. But yeah, thank you guys so very much for watching. Please leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. All the things YouTubers ask you to do for them, just do it for me as well. And I will hopefully be back with another video. I am too sick for this very soon.